Okay, welcome everybody. Let me just see if we are live. Let's see here. Yep, there we go. Okay, figure this out. All right, I've got some volume there. Let me turn that off. There seems to be a bit of a lag, so on what I'm seeing and what you're seeing. So you'll have to give me a moment. We'll be all right once we turn down and get that sorted. Anyway, I hope you bear with me because I'm still learning, but we're getting there. Let me just check this. Righto. So last time I painted, this is looking really weird to me, but anyway, last time I painted this one was the hummingbird, and I painted it first this way, that one, and that I didn't like it, so I came back and I painted it again like that. So I'm going to do the same with the Kookaburra. So I have already painted him once, just that one. There you go. And I'm going to have another go at painting it looser. The way that it feels more natural for me as well. That feels very tight and constrained, which is not how I normally paint. So I'm going to have another go at this using my new software setup, so bear with me. But yeah, look, I like it, but it's just not me. It's not how I like to paint. Yeah, I like to, splash a bit of paint around and be a bit loosey goosey, as I put in the headings. So we'll have a go at that and just see. We'll see how it goes. Give me a moment. I'll swap the camera down and see how we go with it. Let's see. I think that might have just worked really quickly. All right. Let me just check everything's right. There we are. There we go. I think you can see. What have we got on? I can't see any comments, but let me know if you're here and if you can hear me nicely and if it's bright enough. Let me just pop another light on. There we go. Let me just see. So I can't see any comments, but let me know if you are here and we'll get started. So this is the Kookaburra. Look, I like the blues. I like it, and it's a bit splashy, but we'll just try and loosen it up. And when we're trying to loosen it up, I tend to think if we can get the eye and the beak and the head, so you can recognise it's a Kookaburra, and the rest will be fairly splashy. We'll see. Maybe it won't work out, but we'll try. So that's what I'm working on. This is my outline that I print. So if we do go ahead and make this into a class of any sort, if you come and do a workshop, you'll always get, well, not always, but you have the choice of having an outline here. So we'll work with that. This is, I had some spare bits of paper hanging around over there, so it was a bit dirty. I may as well, put it to good use. There's no point wasting it. So I'm going to start off with my Princeton brushes. So I'll probably start off with the number 12 round. I've just been painting with this one, so it's wet. That's the number, it's the 1/2 inch flat wash, the Princeton. I'll keep the number 4 handy and the number 1 liner, the rigger that I tend to use a lot of. So they're my brushes. This is my palette that I'm using, my trusty palette that, I don't know, I go back to it. It's handy, it's easy, I like the colours, it works for me. So I've only activated the colours that I think I'm going to use, other than the ones I was using. I was painting some cards, there you go. Sneak peek of a new card, something else I'm working on. So that was my warm-up. So if you ever come and do a workshop, see, I warm up first. So I've got my palette and I have wet colours that I'm thinking I'm going to use. So there's browns and dark greys and blacks and the blue. I only wet the ultramarine, but we'll play around with that. I probably need something a bit, maybe this one as well, I'll wet. So as always, I've got my water. I've only got a little jug here at the moment, so I might just wet this blue-green colour. It's probably more like a phthalo colour, a phthalo blue. A bit more on the blue there. Righto. I don't need that. I've got a tissue in case I splash around too much. Let's get into it. Okay, I'm just going to wet it first with whatever's on my brush, and then we'll just start laying some colour in. All right, so that's the back of him, just kind of in the browns, and the tail is kind of browns as well, and that's blues under there. Let's see. I'm not even sure which browns, and I don't want to use just a straight brown either. Put a yellow to it. Okay. So we are going for the first wash, which I always talk about tea, milk and honey being your washes. So this is my tea wash, which probably could be done with coffee here. Kind of a coffee colour. Let me go splashing that out. I'm holding my brush really loosely. I've just done blue where the... Okay, there we go. We only want the brown on there and the blues are under there. A bit more brown on his belly. I'm still not liking the colour yet. Add something just a bit dirtier. That might be a bit better. Just to lay a bit more colour in. Okay. No. Sorry if you can hear Alvy barking in the background. There we go. I'm still just figuring out my colours. Pulling things back that I'm not happy with. There we go. Something a bit redder, I think, perhaps in here. I still haven't quite... Yeah, colour's not bad. There we go. A bit more red into it. Okay. I'm still holding my brush, to get the tail right. Out here for the feathers. I'll always try to paint in the direction that the feathers would lay as well. So just to give you a good idea, just pick up a bit more greyish sort of colour. It's not something really quite light for here. There we go. Same again. So I'm just thinking of how the feathers would lay around, and I'm still just trying to keep it fairly light and washy, splashy. We're still going for a bit of splash. Okay.
Texture or something like that.
Okay. I might give that a bit of texture. There we go. I'm going to go in for the blue. I'll start with a bit of each of those. Oh, that's a nice colour. There we go. You see that? Just picked up a bit of both blues and I popped it in with some brown, and I think I really like that. So there we go. Okay, I'm liking that. For my first wash, I might change down to a smaller brush, just to get a few more. That's nicer. Add a bit of colour in while it's still wet. So we're working wet on wet here. Picking up just things in my palette that are interesting to drop it in. I'm still just making marks like the feathers. It's still fairly, just trying to keep it loose and wet on wet as well. There we go. And then we want just a nice charcoaly colour for his beak. I'm going to add a bit of blue into that as well. It's kind of more a Payne's grey sort of colour. So I'm just going to carefully, you can still see, do his beak, and then that can dry. So then I can come back and give him another layer in here. Okay. I've just realised the under colour should have been a bit lighter. There we go. The underside of his beak is a bit lighter. Different colour. The top is more black grey. I'm trying to sort of get more the beak how it should be. We'll see how that dries. There we are. Okay, I'm going to leave his eye for now. Come back. My other one, when I painted this, I used a filbert brush to get the marks, so I might try that again, going back onto here for the marks in his feathers, and I used a filbert brush, a bit more. So we're going to go a little bit thicker this time. This would be my milk layer, so I'm just trying to pick up, let me bring that back up there where you can see just a bit more. Oh, that's a bit too dark. Add a bit of that. Okay. Okay, let's see how that looks. So I'm just going to try and get some marks by using the filbert brush in there. And I can use the filbert brush on its side as well to get different marks. Okay, I think he's certainly coming along a bit splashier, but you know, we'll see. I'm going to add some darks in here by using the filbert brush on its side, still giving a similar sort of mark. Just picking up some darks on his back. There we are. I may even come back, I think, with the filbert again and redo those marks. With something with a darker colour as well. Okay, tail. The tail again is pretty dark. Let's see, fairly dark, and with some darks, even some blues in here to sort of blend the blues in. I'll stay with the filbert brush and just see what we can, how we can pick up. Some more darks in here just by rolling it, and I'm getting a different mark, which I kind of like. Got some darks here. don't know, and a bit of blue, I think, in the tail. There we go. All right, his belly. He's looking a bit wild when I'm looking at the picture. Anyway. Belly, kind of a bit more grey up here. Certainly darker under here. There we go. So I'm looking for fine feathers here. Just little feathers, little marks, little feathers. There we go. What else? Back into the blue, I think. Same. I'm still going to stick with my my filbert brush. And I've mixed up. I hope you can see there. Probably can't. There we go. I've mixed up a blue grey here, and I'm just going to add that dark, whichever it is. Oh, I like that. Okay. Same again. I have a feeling it's not very loose, but it's certainly looser than the... Oh, splash that around. Looser than the last time, but still not loose enough. Probably could have had a photo with me instead of my last painting, but anyway. Maybe a photo might have been easier to work off. That's better. I like that. Straight out of that. So I'm probably going more in my honey layer now in that blue, and it may even just be enough. Okay. There we go. I think he needs a good bath. He's looking a bit wild. All right. Back to his head. I'm going to go back to the little brush. Have another look at his head. So I'm going to pick up, I just want more feathers, I think. And bringing it up. Under here is quite grey. So I'm just going to, and they're quite little. Under here, coming out. Okay. I can't see any comments. Can anybody? Oh, I've lost that. There we go. Yeah, let me know. There's comments. Let me know. I can't even see who's here today. Anyway, I'll keep painting. We'll get this done. How long have we been? A bit more than 20 minutes. All right. Just filling this in, still in the direction of the feathers would be going. And I'll bring in his eye as well. Just see what we're doing here. Whoops. 1 second. There we go. All right. Fix his foot. Something a bit deeper. Feet. There we go. I'm gonna give him something to sit on. There we go. I'm not overly worried about a branch, but that's pretty close. It's probably, you know, I don't want much. I just want the impression of a branch there for him. There we go. Something to sit on. I'm going to do his eye because that's bothering me. Let's see how we go. I'm going to turn him around. I hope that he still works for you. All right, going straight into the black. I'm copying the eye that I've got here because I really quite liked it. So I'm going straight in with the black, so just a little round. Okay, breathe. I'm leaving a highlight as much as I can. There we go. Better. Oh, I don't know what I've done here. Oh, there we are. I've stopped it. There we go. Okay. Righto. A dark brown around that. Go in here, I think. Let's just see. Eyes are hard to do. Eyes are really hard, especially live, because it's a bit of it's a lot of play. Okay, it's a lot of fiddle with an eye. I really do. You just got to take your time with an eye. Stark. Okay. From underneath. Okay, a bit more. Really dark. In there. Okay. It's not as good as the first one. Let's see. Oh, he looks a bit angry. Let's see. What to do? Loosen that up a little. Going in here with the dark brown. Some really little marks, and then soften that out a bit. Yeah, I think he's angry. Aye. Let's move on. All right, the whole idea was to make him looser than the first time. So what I'm going to use is my my liner sideways. Just by picking up some of this. Using my liner sideways. Yeah. I'm pushing it out. I still think he looks like he needs a good bath, but you know, we'll see. What else? Is this where I cut loose a little bit? Pick up something really loose and watery, this one here. There we go. I'm going to add a bit of blue into that as well, that sort of bluey denim-y colour that I liked. Add a bit of that. bit of water. Okay. Yeah, that's better. It's more what I had in mind. Is it better? Still not sure. Don't know. I don't know. No, I don't think I want to do it under here so much. Might pop a bit of green in here. And pull it right back. A bit of green up here as well. A bit of green down here because, you know, he would be. I think he needs a whole lot more, just a little bit more really fine detail work on his beak. There's bits that I think that aren't quite working. Where's my brush gone? There it is. A smaller brush, there we are. All right. Now just darken the top of his beak just a little bit. Mix that in a bit. That needs a bit more there. A bit of there we go. Okay. I think, yeah, look, I could keep playing. He doesn't look so windblown anymore, but I'm going to try a bit of this, darker. Pick up a bit of this. Oh, I was going to come back with the filbert brush again on his feathers. Let's just see what that does. Here with this nice brown that I've mixed. Darker, a bit darker. There we go. Let's just, there we go. Yeah, I like that. Just by keeping it as loose. I'm going to do the same down in his tail as well, just to give those. There you go. I just picked up probably every brown here. There we go, like that. It's quite a thick one. And oh, nice dry brushing. That's exactly what it needed. Some dry brushing. Let me see if I can do that up here. I like that. There you go. There's a bit of dry brushing to pick up those feathers there. A bit of dry brushing here. See, I could just keep playing. I'm not sure if the colour here is right. I have blue and that blue and some black. It's kind of not going to give me. Oh, there we go. Just the really darker starks now in there. Just a bit of interest. I'll bring a bit of that down here. Okay. I think I have played enough. Thank you for everyone who has joined. Sorry, I couldn't see your comments. Let me just have another look and see what I can find. No, can't see anything. Anyway, thank you. Can't see who's here. No. Well, I've certainly am happier with that one. I think it has loosened up. I could do a bit more on the tree trunk. Have a look at that. certainly is more of a, there we go, tree trunk. Or out here, underneath. There we are. All right. Let me see if I can swap this camera back around and we'll have a chat. There we go. Turn this light off for you. All right. There you go. Oh, he's, yeah, wild. Looks a bit windblown. I don't think I've got his eye quite right, but it's certainly something I would play with a whole lot more. But look, he's looser than last time. So there's the two together. He looks like he's had a wild night out, doesn't it? There you go. Not sure if I like him, but you know, it's we'll see. It's not bad. I think it kind of works. There were lots of different techniques in there. So wet on wet first, and I really like the dry brushing that came back in at the very end in his tail. In here, I really like the dry brushing. Don't be afraid to swap brushes. You know, these are the, and I use pretty much all of the brushes here that I've got. I know I didn't use the flat brush, but that's my filbert. Oh, and there's that one and my filbert. There we go. So they're all the brushes that I really used, but not the flat one. Quite a few. So, you know, use the brush to make the mark for you. So that was the filbert. It's a number 8 Princeton filbert, which is really nice. I made those really nice marks on his back as well. Always a favourite, whether it's florals or landscapes as well. I always use a rigger of some sort during some time in the artwork. My number 12 makes a really good wash. If I was doing a bigger painting, I would use a bigger brush to do the wash, but that certainly holds enough water to splash around enough to make it wet on wet to get going. So there you go. I've got a few more that I'm working on. So I've got a flamingo as well that I'll be doing in a couple of days. Pretty busy for later in the week with workshops, but maybe on Sunday I might get to paint that flamingo and see how we go. Lots of pink, lots of splashing around, I think, with the flamingo. We'll do the same again. Try and get the head and the beak right and go a bit wild with the rest of it. Yeah, look, I think he needs a good bath, but I'm sure he doesn't mind. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I appreciate you all. See you next time. Bye.